All right, Corey, let's get to it. I should have had like a music bed under here, just like some sort of trivia music playing throughout, but I don't want to throw you off too much. So what I think I don't know how many questions I have here. I've got a question from every single game from 1990 up until 1999, and I peppered in some stuff from the 80s. So I didn't want to go any further back than 1984, which that might even be a little too difficult. But there's different point totals. And with that said, we're going to start off. First question, 1 point. 1984, what Florida State Seminole had a 77-yard touchdown run against the Canes?
Jesse Hester. Jesse the Jet Hester, who was a first-round pick of the Raiders. And I was just talking about him. I met somebody recently. Oh, by the way, I met Gator Kirk.
Oh, did you met? Oh, nice, dude. He DM'd
Shout
me.
out to Gator Kirk.
Let's
I
go.
feel so bad. The game had just ended. I'm elbowing my way through Duke fans, and then somebody yells, "Hey, Corey!" And I turn around. He goes, "Hey, big fan." He said, "Big fan" or "Hello," and I'm like, "Hey, how are you?" And he goes, "I'm actually Gator Kirk," and I'm like, "Oh!" And I went over and shook his hand. I said hello to his wife, but I was in a hurry because we had a 500-yard walk to that field house to get to Norvell, so I wasn't able to hang out and say and talk. But I did get to meet Gator Kirk, so that was awesome. And I was talking to somebody else just recently that was mentioning Jesse Hester, and that was in Durham too, but I can't remember who that was. But yeah, I'm going to say Jesse Hester in 1984.
That is correct, everybody. 1 point for your boy Corey Clark.
It was a double reverse, not just a regular reverse, a double reverse.
Which is like a 360, so you end up going in the same direction.
Yeah, it is funny when you think about that. It's like, why does that work? But it did a lot.
Yeah. All right, we go to the infamous 1987 game. We're going to give you a margin of 3 on this to get within it. There was a long touchdown scored by a Miami Hurricane. Can you name him and just how long that touchdown was? The longest touchdown of the game.
Yeah, it was Michael Irvin. I'm going to say 79 yards.
No, it was 73 yards, and it was Michael Irvin. So you get half.
And it was Dion wasn't on him. I'm not going to name the cornerback that was on him, but I'll tell you who wasn't on him. The best cornerback to ever play college football or football in general. So unless you count Travis Hunter. Yeah. So that was a little disappointing that Dion wasn't there. Steve Walsh threw it. I know that too.
Okay. 1988, two-parter here. How many turnovers did Florida State have in the first half?
4?
They had 2. It was just a pick and a fumble.
Okay.
And then
I know it was 17-0 at half.
Yeah. So the last 3 drives for Florida State ended in interceptions. Can you name the quarterback or quarterbacks who threw the 3 interceptions?
Chip Ferguson, Peter Tom Willis.
Casey Weldon.
Oh, he
Peter
threw the
Tom
last
Willis.
one?
Yes.
So I was right on the first 2. I didn't. So Casey got in that game.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
Maybe I stopped watching by then.
Yeah.
So he was. Because he didn't start until 2 years later, because obviously Chip and Peter Tom were ahead of him. But that's all right. I like that. See, they got him in there. So Mike, get Trevor Jackson in there. Let him get a couple reps on Saturday night.
Here we go. Let's make up some ground here. 5 points on this one. 1989. Can you vaguely describe the first 2 plays from scrimmage in the 1989 Florida State Miami game?
Yeah, Leroy Butler intercepted Gino Torretta, who was starting for Craig Erickson because Craig Erickson was hurt. And then Dexter Carter went, I think, 37 yards for a touchdown run.
Bang!
On the second play.
Yeah. 5 points. That's true, everybody.
Edgar Bennett, great block. Great block by Edgar Bennett.
Yeah, way to rally back after the 88. The 88.
That was
debacle.
a tough one, man. I knew there were a bunch. I didn't know when they happened in the turnovers.
All right, we're going to give you a bonus one here. We'll give you 2 points on this. How many times did Florida State trail at halftime against Miami in the 90s?
Oh, my gosh. 1990, definitely.
Correct.
Not 95, not 96, not 97. Maybe they might have trailed in 99. So 90 definitely. Maybe.
Come on, think.
Maybe 94.
Bang!
Okay.
Give him
was
the
99?
bonus.
What was it at 99?
It was tied.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then they put. Yeah, it was like 21-21 or something. It was a high-scoring half. Santana Moss refused to cover him. He's pretty good though. I mean, I guess he gets credit for being good, but That was also the first game after the Dillards incident,
Yeah.
where Peter Warwick was on the sideline, couldn't play.
It's crazy. Florida State led it, going back to 84, and I didn't go further until past 2001. Florida State led it at half in 84, 85, 86, 87, 89, 91, 93, 95, 96, 97, and 98.
Yeah.
And they didn't win all those. What happened in 1990? I need to ask you that. I don't even remember. The 94 game is bizarre to me, like looking at the final. But we'll talk about it maybe when we get to the 94 game. All right, 1990, Miami wins that one 31-22. Who was the leading wide receiver for Florida State?
Lawrence Dawsey?
Correct.
I want to say it was like he had an incredible. It was like 13 for 180 or something.
Ooh, 13 for 160. But
okay,
in
at least one touchdown, maybe two.
I didn't write that.
Yeah, but he had something. I know he had one touchdown right before half. That was a game they were down. They were down like something crazy, like 24-0. And Miami ran all over them, like over 300 yards. But yeah, Dawsey had an incredible day.
1991, we go to this one. 2 points on this. The final drive for Florida State, they converted a fourth down. Who converted the fourth down?
Edgar Bennett.
Correct.
Yeah.
Bang.
Yeah, little fullback dive.
In my notes, I was looking here. So they ended up using like 2 timeouts on that last drive. And I think because I didn't realize, I totally spaced out and forgot about this. The first wide right was a third down they kicked it on.
Buddy, I
love
Bobby Bowden. I love everything he did for my life. A lot of great moments because of that man. End of game, especially against that team, or maybe in the Orange Bowl in '93, it left you shaking your head. The worst thing they did on that drive is when that drive started, they completed a pass that got them to the 4th and 1. So maybe it was the second down play.
Yeah.
They completed a pass, and they thought the guy got out of bounds. So they're taking their time getting the play call in, thinking the clock had stopped. And it hadn't. So the game clock is still running because the ref had ruled the player in bounds, and they thought he's out of bounds, so probably wasted, I'm going to guess, 18 to 20 seconds. Now, this is a memory of like an 11-year-old, but probably 18 to 20 seconds. And if they had those 18 or 20 seconds back, then they absolutely run a play on that third down, right?
Yeah.
Because you got plenty of time. There's no need to kick it that early. You can actually go try to throw a fade to Terrell to score a touchdown again, but they didn't. Eric Terrell, not Terrell Buckley.
Or if they don't burn their first timeout on a 4th and 6 on it was crazy. They used their first timeout in the second half like way too early, like in the third quarter on a 4th and 6. It was bizarre.
When they had the ball?
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, after a 1-yard completion.
Yeah.
All right, we got to go quickly here on this. 92, 5 points on this one. What was the opening score of the 92 game, and what were the last points scored in the 92 game via?
Tamarick Vandover was the opening points on the opening kickoff. He returned it for a touchdown.
Correct.
The last points
1916 final.
Wasn't it a safety?
Yeah, it's correct.
Yeah, Corey Sawyer fumbled the punt at like the 2-yard line, and they recovered it for a safety.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Lamar Thomas had given them the lead he beat Clifton Abraham for a touchdown, and then the Florida State got the ball back after getting a stop, and Corey Sawyer caught it at the 3 and fumbled it, and they recovered it for a safety. I guess he must have fumbled it out of bounds or recovered it in the end zone.
I guess
Miami didn't recover.
He retreated to the end zone. Like I think he didn't realize where he was.
Yeah, that's right, something like that. But he got tackled in the end zone. Somehow it was a safety on a punt, which you don't see a lot.
Nope.
I don't know that I've seen it since.
No. 1993, Florida State finally gets the monkey off their back, 28-10 win over Miami. Two-parter here for your points. Who was the leading rusher and who had the most receptions for Florida State in the 93 game?
I'm going to say Sean Jackson was the leading rusher.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say, leading receiver.
It's a tricky one.
Is that like receptions or yardage?
Receptions. Most catches.
Okay, I'm going to say then I'll say Kevin Knox.
It was Tamarick Vanover. He had 7 catches in that game.
Oh, all right, T-Mac. I see. That's a lot. That was a lot for him that year. I know Fryer probably maybe had the most yards or close to it because he had the long touchdown.
94, 3 points. How did Florida State's first drive end? 34-20 win over Miami had in 94. Ugly. Gross.
That's a game I don't remember a ton about. That's like the one. 94 and 95, honestly, are the ones I don't remember the most about. I'm going to assume it ended in a interception.
Correct.
Danny Kanell interception.
That is correct. 3 points, Corey Clark.
There we go. Nailed it.
1995, Danny Kanell throws 3 touchdowns in Florida State's 41-17 win over Miami. Who caught the 3 touchdowns?
Andre Cooper.
And?
Oh, I thought you were saying E.G. Green?
Philip Riley.
Oh, okay, Philip Riley. I see you. Former track star. All right.
We'll give you partial points on that.
Okay, sorry. I thought maybe Andre caught all 3 of them.
Yeah. 1996, Florida State beats Miami 34-16. We're getting comfortable beating these guys. Who scored the first Florida State touchdown?
In 1996. Oh, in 1996. Okay, so that was the Warwick Dunn game. I don't feel like he scored the touchdown, though. I was thinking of 98. So 96. I'm not going to. Thad Busby, like a QB sneak?
No. You're gonna hate yourself when I tell you that.
Oh, was it Shevin Smith?
Let's go! Give him the points.
Yeah, defensive touchdown. There you go. That's Shevin Smith was the man. Former walk-on and was a badass safety.
Yeah. 54-yard fumble recovery. Do you know who caused the fumble?
I do not. No.
Vernon Crawford. Just want to keep his name out there.
Crawford. All right. I know he's number 47. That's all I can remember about Vernon.
1997, 2 points. Florida State, biggest win in. Even bigger than the win in 2022. 47-0 over Miami. They're in the throes of probation hell. True or false? Sebastian Janikowski missed a PAT in this game.
I'm going to say true.
Oh, I tripped you
up. Is that
up.
false?
It's false. Bill Grammatica did, though.
Oh, okay. There you go. But Grammatica was still kicking?
Bill Grammatica. I think that's when he lost it. Like, he kicked the first
That was
PAT.
the last one. It was ridiculous that he was kicking it all. They're like, Janikowski's the kickoff guy and the long field goal guy. It's like, how about you make him every kick guy? Because he's awesome. They were rotating kickers. But, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Because that was kind of – I feel like that was middle of the year. I thought he had already lost his job to Janikowski. Interesting fact, Janikowski did miss a PAT in the national championship game against Tennessee.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's why they had 16 and 17.
Okay. 2 more. 98, 4 points up for grabs here. Florida State beats Miami 26-14. We've got a streak going on. It's pretty cool. Florida State had 7 sacks from 5 different players. Can you name 3 of the 5 players who had the 7 sacks for Florida State?
And this was 1998.
1998. 5 players.
I'm going to guess. I'm trying. Roland Seymour?
That's 1. He had 2, actually.
Okay. I'm trying to think of who the linebacker would have been that they brought on a blitz, but I can't. That's not coming to mind. Wadsworth was already gone. This might stump me. Corey Simon?
Nope.
Jerry Johnson?
No.
Okay, I was trying to go with the defensive
I'll give you one more strike.
Yeah, that's right. That's fair. Yeah. David Warren?
No.
Sorry.
No. Bobby Rhodes, Brian Allen.
Okay, Brian Allen is somebody. Tommy Polly, maybe?
Jamal Reynolds.
Get it together, Clark.
And Tony Bryant had 2 as well.
Yeah.
Along with Roland Seymour.
That's ridiculous. I should have known. Tony Bryant played in the league for a good while, and Jamal Reynolds was a top 10 pick. That's the only. I'll be honest with you, Aslan. Out of all these questions, that's the one I feel. That's the only one I really feel bad about.
Okay,
honestly.
Yeah. Listen, I was running out of ways to try to confuse you. All right, 1999, Florida State beats Miami again.
Yeah.
My gosh. Like, the decade didn't start off great, but, man, it was awesome towards the end of it. 31-21. Who was the leading rusher and receiver for Florida State? And this isn't too – I mean, the leading receiver he led the team in receptions and yardage.
Well, Travis Minor.
Correct.
For rushing. Receiving without Peter Warwick, I would guess Dugans.
Correct. He gets it, everybody.
And I'm pretty sure Jermaine Stringer had a touchdown catch in that game.
He did.
Georgia native, like a long one, like a 50-yarder or something.
48 yards. Let's go.
And he didn't do a lot football-wise. He was another track guy that didn't have a lot of big-time moments, but that was a very memorable play for Jermaine Stringer.
Yeah.
And honestly, Chris Winkie was so good in that game, and he was almost like you got to see how good Chris Winkie was without Peter Warwick, because it's like, okay, he doesn't have to force the ball to this one guy. He's just going to throw to whoever's open, and he lit Miami up. Well, and he did it the next year, too, where he threw for 500 yards and they lost.
Yeah. All right, there we go. Hopefully that was fun for you folks to listen. Hopefully, Corey, that was a little bit intellectually stimulating for you.
I'm sweating. I didn't like that, Aslan. You sprung that on me. I should have just been cheating the whole time.
Hey, you said on the show yesterday, like we didn't want to. There wasn't a lot to talk about when it came to this Miami game. I tried to get Marvin Jones to hop on the show, but couldn't.
That would have been nice. Yeah,
time. So there we go.